Just a couple of rucking suggestions to go along with all this. In case you haven't done a ruck before or you're relatively new to it, make sure you don't have too much weight in your pack. Between 10 and 15% of your body weight is a pretty good target. And you might want to go a little bit lighter the first time, especially if you're planning on going for more than an hour. If you're a guy about 200 pounds and you're not in that good of shape, you'd be surprised at how hard it is to ruck with 30 pounds on your back. So you might just want to let the macho stuff sit to the side and just put 15 or 20 pounds in your pack and see how that goes. Stay hydrated along the way. We all have hydration packs in our rucks, so it's real easy to keep sucking on the water, but take a bottle or two of water with you and keep drinking steadily throughout the ruck. You're going to go between 3 and 4 miles in an hour. If you're a real quick walker, you may be able to go quicker than that. So a good first ruck is maybe that hour. Don't set yourself up for 3 or 4 hours if you haven't done it before, because I guarantee you, your feet are going to burn like you've never felt it before. But it's fairly easy to build up to a decent amount of distance, but you just got to do it in increments. So go out and have some fun, and don't forget, find some, oh, and Staci wanted me to remind you, make sure you've got good, comfortable shoes on. I wear these boots. These are actually Converse boots. They're very light. They look pretty heavy, but they're almost as light as a regular pair of shoes. So just make sure you got something good on your feet and a good pair of socks. Happy rucking. Staci's going to show you a few exercises that we're going to be mixing in along the way. Again, it's optional. If you just want to get a rucksack and walk for that hour, that's great. It's wonderful exercise, especially if you can find some hilly areas. But we're going to have some challenges so that every 5 or 10 minutes, you're going to stop and do something. We're going to show you some of those ideas now.
Hi guys, so this is my ruck. It's actually just a regular old backpack that I filled with weight. I'm going to show you what's in it because this is stop right here you go. I'm going to show you my backpack because this is took a while for me to find a comfortable spot. I have about 30 pounds in here, so it's a fair amount of weight. They don't suggest you start with 30 pounds, maybe just a couple water bottles or 10 or 20, maybe trying to get to 10 or 15, 20 pounds at most. But this is how my backpack is filled. I have a yoga block, which is light for just a little bit of cushioning and to fill up space. And these are bricks. They're 2 bricks and I have them taped together. All right. And I have 3 of those in there, along with a floaty tube, and again, that's for comfort, so it sits nice for me. You're going to have to play with this a little bit. That this didn't happen overnight. All right, so that's how my backpack is packed. If you have a dumbbell or a slam ball, that works really well because it'll fit a little bit easier in it'll be more comfortable on your back. So to get this on, because it is a little heavy, you're going to take it and think about just flipping it over your shoulder, almost like a clean, or taking a big bag of dog food and picking it up. And then I'm going to take my other hand, and now I'm going to lean over a little bit, and this is going to help me secure up top here, and then having the bottom, here it is, having the bottom also. If you're going out and buying something, I would recommend having this strap. It just makes everything feel more comfortable with the back. So we're gonna squat. So I don't recommend just throwing on a weighted backpack and starting to squat if you're not familiar. It's even hard for me. So right here you can see I'm coming over forward and my knees are a little bit forward. So find a tree, or I happen to be in a park where there's a railing. So I'm just going to hold on to it and I'm just going to squat here. This way I'm able to keep my chest up and the weight in my heels, right? All right, so you're just going to do, I don't know how many squats we're going to do. We may ask you to do a squat hold. So what that's going to look like, you're just going to come back and you're just going to hold it down here, keeping everything tight. Your chest is up. I mean, I am using this as a little bit of a balance for me. So you don't need a lot of time. I'm already out of breath down here. And up you go.
So one exercise we can do with the pack off is a Zercher hold squat. So Staci's gonna clean this up, hold it out front. Her pack is heavy, and just squat. This is gonna keep you in the best position for squatting. So if you're not comfortable with it on your back, or you don't have something to hold on to, Zercher style. Now, you can do, a way to get that to that position was a clean, so she's gonna do repetitive cleans. Lay it down sideways. You're gonna grab it, think of it as a sandbag that we have at the gym. You pick it up and squat clean it. So there's a rucksack squat clean.
All right, so I'm walking along and look, I found a hill. It's not really big, but trust me, it's gonna get me. It'll probably get you too. So just take it, try to get up your hill. Woo! And down. Woo! Do that 4 or 5 times and keep on trucking. Now look what I found, a bench. Picnic benches are really good for this. Or, you know, like at a picnic table, the bench of the picnic table, not actually getting up on top. That would be bad. So I found a bench, and I'm just going to step right on up, all the way up, opening up the top. Doing step ups that way. You're going to do about 10 or 15. Right, left could be 1, and then you're going to keep on walking. So an alternative to a picnic table bench or a regular bench that I happened to come across earlier is a rock. I don't really recommend it, but it is an option. They can be slippery, so you really want to be careful. This is a nice flat rock that I found versus something like this. Again, that would be bad. All right, so same thing. And this is actually a little bit lower. So again, we're modifying their heights to everything that works for us. If you've never rucked before or done any of this with any kind of weight on your back, it's way more taxing than you think. It's a lot harder. So don't take any of this for granted that we're just out here, you know, doing a couple of squat holds or step ups. Trust me, it's the hill climbs, those will get you. Those will get you without a pack. All right, keep on trucking.
Something you can add on your ruck if you want to do a little plank hold. Or if it's muddy or the grass is wet, if you want to stay a little cleaner, you can come onto a bench or the top of a picnic table. Just be careful, you don't get splinters. You come down, get on your forearms, and just hold that plank just like you would at the gym.
Bill's used to having somebody on his back when he does this, so not a big deal for him. But again, don't underestimate the value of this particular exercise.
After about a minute or so, I'm going to get back up and I'm going to keep on rucking.
Here's some exercises we're going to do with taking our pack off. So now you're going to take your pack off. It's going to feel really good to have this off your back. Ooh, I forgot my bottle. Again, it's heavy, remember, so that's how I do it. Always remembering when you're picking stuff up or down, think about your deadlift, that you're not just rounding over to pick stuff up or put it down.
Now we're going to have her do a rucksack snatch. So the same position, she's going to go all the way up overhead. Down, and just a power snatch. Up overhead all the way, ground to overhead. Watch it so you don't hit yourself in the face with anything that's hanging on your pack. And here I want you to just get it up overhead. That's a muscle snatch. Don't get clever here and try to do a squat snatch with that pack with that wide, that narrow grip. You might be in for a surprise. Okay, so now Staci's gonna do a power clean and a press. She's gonna clean it up to her shoulders and then stand and press or push press. Good. One more. She's getting a real workout. Now remember, she's nice straight back like she's taking a barbell off the ground. Set up straight. Pop it up to the shoulders and dip and drive up overhead. I'm going to have her do one more. She's going to do a split jerk. If you're familiar with a split jerk with a barbell, she's going to power clean, put her feet under her hips and split jerk and stand. All right.
I'm not sure I'd recommend that one.
So now, Staci's going to do something for the first time, but she's done a lot of lifting, so I'm confident that she's going to be able to do this, but be careful. This is a lot harder than you think. She's going to do a devil's press. She's going to pick up the rucksack, so deadlift it. Now she's going to drop down and do a burpee. So she's going to set down, do a burpee to the bag, come up, and take that power snatch right up overhead.
Like that.
Yeah. If you want a substitution, you could do the burpee into a power clean and then a push press. It's probably a lot more doable for many of you.
Safer too.
A couple more exercises we can do with the ruck off. Getting down on the ground or getting on a picnic table works really well. You can take the rucksack, lay back down, and you can do floor presses, just like you were doing with dumbbells or a barbell. So here, just doing 4 or 5 isn't much, but if you do 25 or 30 or maybe 2 straight minutes of this, it's good work. You can do flutter kicks with or without the bag. So hands underneath my hips and flutter away. Want to make it a little more challenging? Take your ruck, hold it directly over your face, keeping your shoulder blades up. It's a lot harder to do, especially if you get to that minute or 2 point. So flutter kicks, holding your ruck. You can also do some sit-ups with the ruck that's weighted. And if you have a partner, sit up with the ruck and pass it. Go back with and without the ruck. If you're having a little bit of trouble, you can take that weight and hold it out a little bit. It'll help you sit up while you pass it to your partner. While you're on the ground, you can do crossover push-ups on your ruck as well. One hand on the ruck, one hand on the ground, all the way down and up. Walk over. So you can do push-ups with the ruck on. Put this back. Want to keep the ruck pretty tight when you're in any prone position so that the weight doesn't ride up on your neck. Keep the weight on your back. And now, push-ups.
So Bill showed you flutter kicks with the pack off and above head. This is with the pack on. This is way harder than it looks, but I'm actually resting up there, and then I'm flutter kicking. Way harder than it looks. So another skill it takes for rucking is being able to get up with your pack on. It's just not necessarily as easy as it looks. But if you think about a Turkish get-up, you're going to get up the exact same way as you would a Turkish get-up. I might be a little bit more smooth without a pack on, but that's the idea. If you think about a Turkish get-up, and back to rucking.
When we announce our rucking event for this weekend, we're going to give you some recommended exercises to do along the way. And we just showed you a handful of examples, but please be creative. You can do pretty much anything you want with a ruck on, but make sure you stay safe and do what's within your abilities. So have fun with the ruck.